most martial arts training is. It's conducted with some sort of a rubber or plastic knife, sometimes a wooden knife, and students don't really respect the weapon as if it's a real weapon. So if I were working with him in a martial arts situation, usually you see these long lunges and some sort of a knife disarm or knife defense technique. And there's really no fear. Students tend to kind of start joking around a lot. It kind of becomes a play thing, like, ooh, I got you. And, you know, it turns into a game of like sparring, but with a rubber knife. Okay? If we work with another student who's in high gear suit also, the thing with having high gear suits is you can go with a little bit more enthusiasm and do the attacks. And he can practice with a little bit more on the movement, but there's still not that fear of the blade. A unique training aid called the shock knife, this puts out 7,500 volts of electricity. At the high setting, this feels like you've been cut with a very large knife. The effect will linger for some period of time afterwards. So now if I'm doing knife defenses, I bring this, there's a lot more hesitancy to engage with the person because you have more of that body alarm reaction occurring because this elicits real fear. Who's afraid of a rubber knife? Nobody. Who's afraid of 7,500 volts? Everyone. Okay, so this sort of training is what you need to make sure that what you're doing is realistic and that it really works. This is the shock knife SK2 model. It has an adjustment potentiometer. You can adjust for level from anything at the low level, feels about like a paper cut, all the way at the high level, feels about like a butcher knife. But you can see this thing puts out a lot of electricity, 7,500 volts. It's enough that none of our students want to get anywhere near this, including me. Nobody wants to be shocked with that. You're going to feel that for several seconds after the fact, but imagine how much more people treat this with respect than they do a rubber knife or a wooden knife.